Recording. Hello, I'm
Hello.
Grandmaster Magesh Panchanathan. Hey, Derek, and hey, Ravi. Thanks for coming
Hello.
in
Hello.
today. A quick introduction on what we are doing. Derek, I've not seen you in years, right?
Mm-hmm.
A former student, now a freshman, right?
Mm-hmm.
In University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. So, and Ravi is a chess parent that I've known for several years. So, welcome, guys. So, let's get started.
Yes.
So let's get first started, Derek. How's Michigan? Big change from New Jersey.
Uh yeah, it's a really big. You mean the state or the school?
Well, the school.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's really big. There are like two campuses, like
Mhm.
North and Central campus. And I live on North. I'm not really sure why. I probably should have like investigated more, but all of my classes are on the other campus, so I have to take the bus every morning. But it's really pretty outside. I heard it
And,
gets really cold later.
and
The Michigan
fall,
Blues.
Michigan Blues.
Going to
Fall
be
is supposed to be beautiful there too.
No, it's really well. Today's not so great,
Mm.
but before, yeah.
nice.
Nice.
So I guess the first thing I want to ask, so everyone can catch up on where you are and what you. So what is your current title in chess? So what's your USCF rating? What's your FIDE rating?
Um, my USCF is like 24-20. My FIDE is like 23, I think 30, but they won't give me the FIDE Master title. I'm not sure what's up with that.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, unless I got it and I wasn't informed. But yeah, they didn't. I don't know. It
That
hasn't
would
shown
be a
up.
strange thing where you're a
That
FIDE
would be a
master and
strange
you
thing,
don't
yeah.
know. You don't know
Yes,
that.
you're
Yeah.
secretly a FIDE master, which I don't know.
But I thought, isn't the rule just like you have to be a 2300 for like a one or
Yeah.
two published list and that's it? That's what I
That's
thought.
that's what I thought. And I got it in
Hmm.
like August. So I don't know. Maybe they're investigating me. Okay.
So, and I know I met your mom in the Nationals. Was that your last tournament? Did you play anything after that?
Um, well, the most recent one, I play every few months, and then like sometimes my rating stays the same, and sometimes I gain like 60 points. So like last tournament was the World Open.
Oh, World Open.
Yeah.
In Philly?
Yeah.
Mm.
Nice. So that's great. So I know when you were doing classes, we were mostly doing these group classes. I remember you were like, I don't know, maybe 1500, 1600. I don't remember the exact rating, but somewhere around there, right?
Um, I think it was a little bit higher, but yeah, it was somewhere there. Yeah.
Somewhere
Well,
there.
we did classes for a long time, so my rating probably went up.
Exactly.
Because,
No, I remember you were higher, but when you started the classes, I'm feeling that maybe you were around that rating.
yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. So that's great. So let's get started with your chess journey first. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, how did you start chess? How did you get into chess? Was there anyone else who at home that plays?
Well, there's no one. I mean, a lot of people like know how to play chess, so I guess my parents know how to play. But I first learned from this kid at, I think I was in like first grade, some summer camp. He was like trying to impress everyone by showing them how good he was at chess. So, but I was very curious, so I asked him how to play, and he taught me all the rules. And then I went home and I learned more rules, and I went back like the next week to beat him.
Wow.
then-
That's
and then-
impressive.
Well, he wasn't very good.
Well, you just learn how to play, so.
Well, but like, yeah, I mean, so he would, I went home, and I started studying a lot. And then when I was in like first or second grade, I would like go to school early in the morning because my parents, like my mom had to drop me off for work. And I would just sit there with a chessboard, and like play against myself, which was like really embarrassing, I guess, but there wasn't really anyone else to talk to.
That's pretty cool. So Derek, do you think that first game that you won, you really like? Did you get the bug at that time? You think, or you think you already had the bug and that is just an incidental thing that happened?
It's definitely a mix. I mean, he I remember it really vividly. He would play B3, and then like he would tell the other person to play g6, and then you'd play bishop b2, and then you would lose like all of your pieces. But I figured out that like if I start with white and then I go b3 and he does the same thing, I can win all his pieces. And I thought like the psychology behind it was interesting.
That's funny that you remember that game and the strategy.
It clearly made a big impact on you.
Yeah.
Nice. And I can also see the competitive spirit, right? Somebody's claiming that they're so good. You're like, you need to beat them. You need to take them down.
Yeah, there's a lot of competitive spirit. Yeah.
Nice. So, and then of course you started playing, tournaments or like taking lessons. How did you start? And like I said, when I first met you, you were already probably a little reasonably at a higher rating, right? So how did you start? Yeah. Who were you training with?
Well, I have my mom has a friend at her work. He was like a national master, and I don't know, I guess he had a lot of free time because he used to like drive to our house and like just teach me. We did a lot of like tactics. I think he was really big on tactics. And then, I don't know. I don't remember how big chess.com was back then, but definitely like doing tactics on there too. I think I had like taken a bunch of lessons before I played my first tournament. So my rating started out like decently high. And then, I don't know, it was just a lot of interest that like sustained my growth.
That's right. I remember you being very tactical. I don't know if that's still the case.
Yeah, probably not. I've missed a few in the last few games I've played, but it's okay.
I mean, if you're not playing on a continuous basis, it's going to be a little bit challenging always. But I remember you more tactical and calculation than positional. That's the style I remember.
Yeah, my game got kind of boring, unfortunately, but it's okay. Maybe one day.
Position is not boring. We do position. I do position.
It's for old people. You can't be a professional kid.
That's why I have no problem doing it.
You just got called old, Magesh.
I know, but I have no problem with that, right? So he has a problem with it. I don't.
Right. Well, that's why I can never beat you. It's
well, we haven't played in a long time, so
we will.
We will. Yeah. Any big tournaments that you're planning to play?
I know I'm going back to New Jersey for like Thanksgiving and winter, but I don't imagine I'll be playing chess then. Maybe over the summer. Whatever's over the summer. Probably like World Open.
Oh yeah. I think end of December usually they have some tournaments in I don't remember the name. I think some New York, but this year New York has the World Rapid and Blitz.
Oh.
So the whole group, they're all going to be there.
Wow.
Magnus and everyone's going to be there.
Can you like get in and see, or is it like...
I think you should be able to see, yeah.
Okay.
It's in between Christmas and New Year, so yeah, definitely you should be able to see, yeah.
Okay. Oh, they got them to play during Christmas and...
I mean, World Rapid and Blitz is always in between Christmas and New Year. That's what's happening. That's become a tradition now every year.
Okay.
So they do it in different places. But
that's a tough time to get people together to play. Yeah. But
only chess players. Only we do it.
Only.
Yeah.
So my most fun memories in tournament in New Jersey for me was always the Amateur East. So is that something you played? Team?
Yeah, I love that tournament. When I used to play with like CKQ. I did at least like twice, I think. And then, I don't know what happened. It would have been fun to play again, but I've always played. I don't know. Like you get a wide variety of opponents, and it's interesting.
That's what I liked about it.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, Ravi has played too. His daughter was playing mainly, but he played too.
I played as backup. Yes.
With your daughter.
Oh, in the same team, yes.
Okay.
And sometimes in a different team as well. But whenever Coach Magesh would have one of his teams, somebody needed a backup, I would fill in.
Mm-hmm.
So he would play in different teams as one of the boards, and then
Yeah.
And he loves the long positional boarding game.
Of course.
I'm older than Coach Magesh, so.
That's right. But I do remember several years. I mean, like CKQ team. I remember you having that CKQ team. There are still more pictures, of course.
Oh no.
Amateur East is like is a fun tournament, of course.
Yeah. Well, I would. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I can this year because I don't know if I'll be in. Does it coincide with some break?
It's usually the President's Day or something. I don't know if it's an official holiday, but usually that's the Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I somehow get a break, I might try to go.
And
if
hopefully you can get a team. Do you think you have
Yeah.
other players in Michigan, like in your college?
I do, but they don't really show up. There's a couple FMs, and we just had an IM that graduated. But we have like this collegiate chess league, and I don't know. I guess a lot of the older kids tried it in past years, and it's not. We don't really win. I guess I just had a game I had a match earlier this morning.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really fun. But
So it's an active chess club then. It's active when you guys play. So you playing the match you played was in person?
Oh no, it's all online.
Online, okay. So the collegiate club you're playing against other colleges, I guess then.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about your chess club in school? Do you guys meet like on a weekly basis or?
Yeah. It's on like Thursdays and Fridays and maybe Saturdays too. From like I want to say like 7 p.m. to midnight. But that's a lot of hours, so I'll sometimes show up for like 1 or 2.
So are folks mostly playing Blitz games and stuff like that in the club?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah, a lot of Blitz. But it's interesting, like I guess in a more like academically rigorous environment, there are a lot of people that just happen to be interested in chess, but you can tell that they take it very seriously, like no matter what level they're at. So there's like always people playing longer games too. It makes me feel really like I need to be focusing more. It's pretty embarrassing. Yeah.
Well, you've played your share of longer games, so it's okay.
I did.
So
nice.
But that's
So
nice.
do you consider yourself mainly a Blitz player nowadays, or do you still like playing classical?
I like playing like if classical were available to me, I would play more classical because there really is no substitute for that.
Yeah.
But because like Blitz is so readily accessible online,
True.
yeah. Actually, I don't even play that much Blitz anymore because I keep breaking my mice for some. I'm on my third.
Is that rage breaking or is it?
No.
I know.
It happens. I got this completely new mouse. And it stopped working. So no more Blitz for me for a while.
Yeah. Nice. Maybe you can get your team to rally around and play the Pan Ams. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, rallying them, that would be difficult, but I will try.
Yes. Well, you have some responsibility now, right?
I do, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right, that's great. So again, one of the reasons we do this, or we started doing this, is basically we get a lot of questions that students ask us, middle school, high schoolers, about what chess is doing. So let's jump into that. Mm-hmm. So when you were in middle school or transitioning into high school, let's maybe talk about that phase. Were you doing other activities? Was chess your only thing? Like how was the time?
Yeah. So I was the COVID year for like the transition from middle school to high school.
Oh.
So I guess I didn't really play. I mean, there wasn't really a chance to play much chess like during 2020 to 2021. And then 2022 was weird because we were all going back to school. So we didn't have like the adjustment into high school. And that made that year a lot harder. I also moved to Michigan that year for like 3 quarters. So I didn't really play. Yeah, I don't think I played any chess like during that time. And then I came back junior year. And I don't know, there's a really good like chess scene especially on the East Coast, for like high schoolers.
Yeah.
So I guess back then I started playing more, but not the same amount as middle school. It's really hard because chess tournaments usually take up the entire weekend. It's hard to balance like any amount of work with having to play like 6-hour games.
Yeah. My daughter too, I think she played more in the middle school time and maybe during freshman, sophomore, but after that she just didn't have time to play.
Well, she's a senior. She just applied for colleges, and she's waiting on. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Good luck to her. Or like early action.
She did early action. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have done early action.
Oh, really?
That was a massive oversight. Yeah.
So maybe let's jump into that, right, Direct? So, in your college applications, how much was chess your story? Do you think that enabled you to, get good admissions into colleges? What is your take on that? Like, how much does it help you?
Well, it's definitely helpful.
Yeah.
Like for a few reasons. I guess one, obviously, it looks good, like as an activity. But also, like the skills that you get from chess are really transferable. Well, whether you think that you had them before and then happen to play chess, or you develop them from chess.
Right.
Like the ability to, I guess, focus and organize thoughts loosely translates. It helped a lot when I had to write all of my essays on like the day before they were due. I didn't really write about chess, like in essays or whatever. It was just one of the higher activities. I guess I didn't want to make my, I was told that I should have, but I didn't want like my identity to these colleges to be like as a chess player, because I don't like consider that who I am primarily.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's very interesting, because I think the chess players we talked to before, they had some kind of chess weaved into their story in the essays. I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely, or I would imagine it's more conducive to like acceptances. I would guess, because if it's something that you're good at, you should make it central to your application.
Right.
So what was your story then? Like, did you have something else, like, or because I'm assuming chess was your number one activity other than, right? Is that right?
Yeah. I enjoy like writing, and I'm supposed to be a philosophy major. So I wrote some very strange personal statement about like destiny, and it was very strange. But it didn't. Yeah, it didn't really seem like there was space for chess. I might have like oddly mentioned it, or offhandedly in a few essays, but it was never like the meat of it.
It didn't fill into the path that you were going in with philosophy. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting. So are you actually doing philosophy major right now in UMIC? Okay, nice, very nice.
That's great. Yeah. So one quick thing going back. So in middle school, what was your rating, and then when you got to junior year, what was your rating? So
wow. My
just to
rating
get an idea of how would the jump happen, like, where did you get the expert or master?
I think I hit like, I remember I hit 1800 it happened in like 200 point intervals. So I remember the jump from 1600 to 1800. I don't know if these jumps are common. And I remember the jump from 1800 to 2000. And then I want to say by the end of middle school, I was a national master. And then I was a national master for a very long time. Well, apparently I'm still a national master, because they won't give me my title. But I think that's the point where there's definitely like a difficulty curve, and it's where it gets a lot steeper, because everyone at that level is taking it a lot more seriously. I also, like, just by chance and by circumstance, I stopped studying as you might know, I was never very diligent with my studies, but especially like when I guess COVID hit, I didn't even like do tactics as much or whatever. Just played online, many games, thousands of games.
So I do remember very clearly that you're one of the natural talents, right? You're like, he had a very, very great grasp of the practical aspects. Right, where some other students are struggling with hours and hours, you would like, figure it out somehow and, deliver it.
What a waste of potential. No, but it's interesting. I guess, I don't know if other people, you've interviewed other players, so it'd be interesting to know. Like for me, I noticed that as I was progressing through high school, and I guess I got more mature in some sense, hopefully, it actually became easier to think about like chess, and while my like natural, or not natural, but ability in the game wouldn't increase at the same pace as my rating. Like my rating would jump up a bunch, and then it would stay stable, and then it would just jump up a bunch, and then restabilize. Like my FIDE graph looks like this,
A
like
step
this.
graph.
Yeah, it's really suspicious. But yeah.
Actually, like you mentioned, it's actually not that strange. It's very normal.
Yeah.
Most players go through that.
Is it
kind of-
normal? Because I feel like it's always like this.
Well, when it's a sine code, it's
step
not
anyway.
No. But
It's more like a roller coaster graph. I think step graph is fantastic.
Yes.
it's kind of double-edged, because I noticed there was a point, I want to say like end of high school, where I started drawing a lot. Like Magesh said, I used to be a lot more of a tactical player, but I think I became very risk averse. And I found it easier, especially because a lot of kids play chess. I found it like easier to settle into the, like, let them approach like you in the game, and having better results with that. But it also, I guess, took the fun out of chess becomes a lot more serious when you hit high school, because you have to consider how much of it you want to do, whether you even want to continue doing it, how much you can afford to study, how much you can afford to play, and then beyond that into college, like how seriously you want to pursue it. And I guess like when those questions enter your psychology, at least for me, I became more of like a positional player.
Again, not a bad thing there.
He seems to really not like being this positional player.
It was very strange, because I was very aware of how my game was changing, and it didn't necessarily. It was probably better for my rating, because I wouldn't lose like stupid games to significantly lower rated players. I remember one time in the Amateur East tournament, in the first round, I was like 2,000, and I got very cocky against like a 1,400, and I lost, and I was so terrified that my opponent would get the biggest upset prize, but someone else got it by like 50 more points. But no, I like my play got a lot more stable, and like that helps a lot at the upper levels, but sometimes it makes it more boring, but maybe it's necessary.
Oh, was this in the Amateur East, this biggest upset prize?
It was, yeah.
They do one every round, like the biggest upset, like, if you beat, and it happens a lot there actually, like 600, 700 points.
Yeah, but
I thought I almost got one. I didn't though. I was 800 and I beat a 1,600.
I remember that, and you still didn't get it. Yeah, you still didn't get it.
800 points doesn't get it. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, somebody else beat me to it. So
wow. Yeah, someone was really miserable that
day.
So it brings an interesting question for me. Like, one of the big questions that students are asking is like the cost benefit, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, like you said, if I'm going to spend time on chess, it's it's coming from somewhere, and that is what's going to give me that result. So it looks like you slowed down a little bit. You did a lot of other things, right? But what would you like right now? Having that the applications are done from a retrospective view. Like, is it good? Like, would you encourage people to spend more time, like, between a master and an expert, or an expert and a FIDE master? It takes a lot of hours.
Well, if we're being particular, I guess, if the objective being like college applications, a lot of it is more about the way that you portray things than the way that they actually are. So rating might be a little less meaningful to like an admissions officer, because it, like, out of context, it doesn't really have any significance. For me, I think I wrote like my position in the country for my age. I think that might be a lot more useful, but I'm not sure. Like, I know that there are a lot more people playing chess now, so there are definitely a lot more experts, a lot of masters. They would definitely crush me. And like in terms of the decision that they need to make, I think that it's a hard one, because it forces, well, especially if you've played a lot of chess before, it forces you to make an evaluation of, on some level, like your own ability at something, which can be really uncomfortable, I guess. Like there was a time when I was hard stuck national master, and like 2200 USCF. I had been for like 2 years, and I just started to wonder whether there was any like more point in playing, because it gets really exhausting to just keep going, and obviously it costs a lot of money too. But it can really feel like a waste of time when everyone around you is doing other things, like in the college. I guess if you enjoy it, that's the most important thing, because obviously you should do things that you enjoy, but it'll always be simultaneously productive. But if you don't enjoy it and it's something that you're doing more for college or for other reasons, then you probably need to make a potentially uncomfortable like evaluation of like cost benefit with that and the other things that you do.
Okay, so just a couple of questions before we wrap this up. One thing is, I don't know how much you're comfortable. Again, you feel free to say no. What GPA or what AP classes you took, or like what those things were. And again, let us know whatever you're comfortable talking about.
Yeah. My GPA, I think it was like 4.6 weighted is the higher one, and 3 point, like close to 3.9 unweighted. Yeah. APs, I took like 10
APs. Yeah.
And I got like, do you want to know which ones would that be?
I don't know if we need to go into that much of depth.
No,
Okay. Yeah.
This is just a general question we've been asking everybody, so that
we can kind of
audiences can get to determine, right? Okay, this is the general path they took, and this is what they're doing. So that's why we ask. Yeah.
It was really useful for Michigan because you get credit for a lot.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
What else? Shoot. I had, what else? What were your other questions?
No, that's, the last question I was going to ask is, what are your chess goals now?
Yeah,
do you have anything right now that you think you want to achieve?
Well, I think the chess world is I've mostly been following like through media or whatever. I think it's in like a really weird spot right now, like with the World Championship and then also all the online stuff and then the cheating stuff. And I feel kind of removed from it, especially not having played as much. It just feels like a very weird space. And I know there's a lot of, it's interesting that like as people have gotten into chess, and I guess it's just with the rise of technology, it's become a lot more, I don't know if empiricized is the wrong word, but people are trying to like break it down and like figure out how to get better at chess as if it were a science. And that kind of goes into the direction of like, or is in the same realm as like computers in chess. And it all doesn't seem like, I don't know, something that I still enjoy playing chess, but it definitely feels like a different place than, wow, I sound so old.
No. It's very interesting to hear you speak about what, this is a completely new direct for me. 30 minutes is like, I'm going to talk to Arun after this, I'm going to call him. It's like,
I still think, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Like, I think millions more people have gotten into chess, and that's been really good. I've seen a lot of people really happy, really enjoying playing Bullet on their phones. And then me getting to take away their joy when I but it's still as good of an activity as it's always been, like a game to play. It's still intellectually stimulating. It still brings out the competitive spirit, just as rewarding as before. But there are other factors. Like, to answer your question, I don't think I'll be playing as much chess for a while. I don't think I have been playing as much, but I'll definitely like keep an eye on what's going on.
and just play for fun. Hopefully, at some point, you will
Yeah.
have another run at it.
Sure. And I think you should definitely investigate that FIDE Master title thingy that's going
Oh
on.
yeah, no, please. Like, if you know anyone, I would very much like my certificate.
Yes, we will get that done. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Derek. It was really
Yeah.
nice, and thank you, Ravi. So
Thank you so much. Thanks,
Okay.
Derek. Great meeting you.
Bye. Have a good
Bye.
one. Thank
You
you.
too. Bye-bye.